every year, there's an annual runner's migration. They head west for the fast course and reliably good weather. And they bring with them their ambitious goals and big dreams. So it's time to hop on a plane and head to the California International Marathon. This is a runner's weekend in Sacramento, California.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool. See you later. Safe travels. Just finished talking to Hellah. It was really good to run into him. He happened to be at the gate that I'm going to be at. He's like the flight beforehand. Remember, I got here super early, so I was here before the next flight. But man, it's always good to talk to him. I love that guy. Now, got some food, got a drink. Let's eat.
I don't normally run into Hellah or his fiancée, Lex, at the airport, so let me explain. Just as CIM is held every year the weekend after Thanksgiving, every year, pretty much the entire running industry meets in Austin, Texas earlier in that same week for an industry trade show. It's a frenetic time where everyone has jam-packed schedules, so it's nice to have a minute to actually talk with Hellah and Lex before I went on the second half of the Ultimate Runner's Nerd double of TRE and CIM in the same week.
Good morning, guys. It is about 7:30 in the morning here on Saturday in Sacramento. I had to think about what day it is for a second there. I got in really late last night, only like 9:30-ish p.m. local time, but it's like 11:30 p.m. my time in the Midwest, and that's just very much past my bedtime. I was lucky though that I got to the hotel just in time to order some food so that way I could get in another meal before I went to bed, and I feel like that was definitely very lucky for me. Now, we've got a shakeout run coming up later today. But first, I want to get some coffee and some more food. About 24 hours till race time. But I feel like it's light right now, so let's try to get the run in, and then if we want to hang out afterwards, we can certainly do that too. I think we do need to adjust the route just a little bit, because I think with all that, there's more work that's going on, so I don't think we'll be able to finish on that side. So we'll just do a loop, come out here, make a left. It's just 4 laps. Hopefully even I can't mess that up, but who knows what other surprises the city will have for us. We'll make a left onto this street here, left at 26th, and then 2 blocks over to L, and that's going to bring us back towards the end of the course. But we'll change them on this street back here. We'll kind of loop back in here and finish again, so that way we have a nice little loop. It'll be a little shorter than 3 miles with that adjustment. If you want to make it shorter, you could turn at like 20th Street, make it 2 miles or so. I'll be running about 10-minute miles. I would love it if everyone doesn't have to stay together, but like make sure we're bunching up, and if I could have someone that is planning on running a different pace, like maybe something that's in the 12-minute range, kind of volunteer to make sure. Okay, cool, man, thank you. Al? All right, Al, can you just make sure that like you're sweeping up behind and making sure that we have everybody? I think there'll be some stoplights, so I don't think that will be too far strung out, but yeah, that'll be it for today. Sound good, everybody? All right, let's get together for a photo real quick over here by the truck, and then we'll get started.
After a very rainy shakeout run, we managed to find a tent to stand underneath as a Kofuzi Run Club chatted and took some selfies. And then Drew Whitcomb and I headed a couple blocks over to the expo. Last year, I picked up my bib on a Friday and it was super quick. But this year, it was a Saturday, so the lines were a bit longer. Even so, one of the things that this race is known for is flawless execution. So even though the lines were long, it moved really quick and easy. And overall, this expo is not that big. So we stopped over to see some friends at the ASICS booth. This is my friend Matt, who made me eat Vegemite at a group run in Denver. And then I regretted not picking up one of these CIM hoodies because I was just so chilly this entire weekend. Noon always has a big booth here, and they gave out samples, which I'm afraid may be some people's first time trying the Noon sport drink that was going to be on the course for the race. Drew and I were going to head out for lunch, but then we saw that they were announcing the Elite American Fields, men's and women's, at this race. Afterwards, Drew took me to a place that let me put mozzarella sticks on a sandwich that had orange sauce on it. It was weird, but it worked. Would eat again. I was really nice and warm back in the hotel room after lunch. Had the heater on blast, but now I have to brave the elements one more time. I'm gonna head back over to the expo, and I'm gonna get interviewed by Matt Chittum, the Rambling Runner. Allison Desir is up now. She's got the 3 o'clock spot. I've got 3:20. Definitely want to make sure I get there early so Matt can kind of like see me and know that I'm there. So that way he's not worrying about it during the interview before mine. And then we'll chat for about 20 minutes. And then I've got something interesting that's gonna come up after that. Should be kind of fun. So a couple more blocks, walking in the light rain at this point. Still a little bit chilly, but I think I'll be okay. All right, guys. Whew, it is wet. Finished up. I got to meet Allison Desir, who was speaking with Matt right before me. We got to talk to her for a little bit after her talking before mine, which was really cool. And then I did my session up there, which was always a lot of fun to talk with Matt. Now I'm done. I stuck around for a little bit to catch some of Jasmina's talk too, but I gotta get going because I think I need to go to the Sheraton to go to the athletes briefing. Now, I'm not going to the elite athletes briefing, but I'm meeting up with one of the elite athletes, Ed Goddard, Australian marathoner. He's been doing a series on YouTube with Sweat Elite, and this is the culmination of that series. But they don't have anyone here to film him or get any kind of like pre-race interview stuff. So I don't know exactly what they need, but I'm gonna go and film it. So Ed's a really interesting guy. I got to meet him when I was in Malaga earlier this year. So I think you guys are gonna like him. I don't know how much of the footage I shoot I'll show you guys though, because it's not really for me. It's technically not gonna be my footage, although I'll shoot it, but it'll be fun elite footage, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll go in there. We'll figure it out. Finished interviewing Ed Goddard for Sweat Elite, and now Ed invited me out to dinner with his crew, and then I also had some Kofuzi Run Club members invite me out to dinner, but I'm just so cold right now. All I want to do is go back to the hotel and warm up. The heater cranks on really hot, and it's so nice, and that's all I can think about right now. And I'm gonna hope that I find something that's open between here and there. Got a burrito, got some chips. Ran into Mario Fraioli at the Chipotle, which was really fun. It was good to see him. I finally got a chance to meet him in person for the first time. We've interacted before online, but we finally met in person in New York just a few weeks ago. And it was good to see him again. So he's got 6 athletes running tomorrow, he says. So hopefully see him on course tomorrow. But now let's get these burritos, back to the hotel, get our feet up, and try to get to bed, get some rest. I'm feeling wiped out. Good morning, everybody. A little bit after 4 a.m. here on Sunday morning in Sacramento. It's race day. Got to get up early, drop off this bag, and then hop on a bus to head up to Folsom. The buses don't leave for about an hour, but I like to get there early. Don't have to rush for the buses. Don't want to be in a line for the bus. Just want to be able to walk right on. That's what happened last year, and it worked out really well. Nice and chill, a relaxed way to start the morning. Temperatures are chilly, in the 40s, low 40s, but it's not raining and it's only a light wind, so conditions are good so far. The weather didn't stay nice for very long. It soon began to rain, and I actually got there so early we had to wait to get on the buses. The rain started to come down quite hard, but I took it as a good omen that the night before, at the hotel convenience store, I found a Cliff Bar and these Grandma's cookies. Grandma's Marathon is where I have my marathon PB, and my favorite pre-run fuel is my mother-in-law's oatmeal raisin cookies. This was a good sign. The bus to Folsom was quiet and uneventful, and once we got there, we could wait on the bus and delay having to get out into the rain. Then, after a quick trip to the bathrooms, I got into the corrals early and waited for the race to start. Once the race started, the skies dried up and we had perfect racing weather. I started out between the 3-hour and the 3:05 pace groups, and I was running with 2 Kofuzi Run Club regulars, Mark Peterson and Matt Accornero. I've already made my CIM race video, and I promise that a detailed standalone race recap video is coming. But for now, I want to talk about the singlet. I had my friend Greg Itahara take one of my favorite singlets and apply the Kofuzi Run Club Dragon, which he also designed a couple years ago. In 2022, I was finally able to pull off the Kofuzi World Tour that I had long thought was but a dream. I got to race in Spain and joined group runs across the US, in Los Angeles, Columbus, Baltimore, Duluth, Denver, San Francisco, Eugene, Boston, San Luis Obispo, Chicago, and New York. I got to take a lap on Hayward Field and race a half marathon, a 10-miler, a 7-miler, a road mile at altitude, 3 5Ks, and 5 marathons. I got on the trails with friends, and I got lost in the woods. None of it would have been possible without the support of the Kofuzi Run Club. And so, for this 5th and last marathon of the year, I wanted to represent the club. You all have been with me the entire way of this unbelievable adventure, and this race I dedicate to you. Thank you.
Thanks for bringing me in. How'd you do, man? How'd you do?
228.
Nice.
Thank you so
nice.
much.
Good work. Good job, guys. Great job, guys.
You're my hero.
Oh man, you guys are awesome.
I'm gonna watch for Daniel.
After the finish, I saw my friend Kevin, who took these really great photos of me, and then I stuck around the finish area to give out as many fist bumps and high fives as I could. The rainy day had become quite sunny, and after getting my medal, I found myself suddenly so thirsty. I got my finisher wrap, which is super nice at this race, and a finisher's water bottle, and I went to look for Drew. On the way, Eric Floberg found me filming myself, and then I got a chance to meet Joe Greer, who had an incredible race with a negative split and a 13-minute PR. Once I found Drew, he helped me get to some more water, and then we hit the beer garden.
right, Drew's taking us on a super long walk. We're trying to find the Tracksmith after party, but we don't think we could take an Uber there because everything's so, like the roads are still closed, but it's a long walk, I'm tired. Good morning, everybody. It is now about 9:30 a.m. here on a Monday in Sacramento, the day after race day. Yesterday evening was pretty relaxed after the Tracksmith party. Hung out with Drew for a little bit more before he headed back to his Airbnb. And I ended up going out to dinner with Ed Goddard, the A6 runner, and his agent. It was a really fun but pretty low-key evening. Then I just kind of tried to get a little bit of work done, but basically just fell asleep. Before I head back to Chicago, I'm gonna do one more thing. I'm going out to the suburbs here in Sacramento. That's where Drew Whitcomb's co-founder, Chris, and his wife, Jody, live. And I'm gonna go get a behind the scenes look at the Weartesters studio. I'm really excited for it. While we're out there, we're also gonna shoot a beginning runner's shoe guide for Weartesters. So a little collab action there. I get the BTS. I'll do a video for them on their channel. It should be a lot of fun. Waiting for the Uber now. So I think for most of you watching this channel, Weartesters may need a bit of an introduction. For most of the ShoeTube world, and kind of YouTube generally, Weartesters is one of the OGs. They've been around for over a decade, and their English YouTube channel is nearing 1 million subs. They also have a Weartesters in Espanol channel. Weartesters is to basketball shoes what Believe in the Run is to running, but like literally an order of magnitude bigger. In the studio, they've got their main stage with 2 camera angles, and then they also have this basketball floor stage set up where they can shoot B-roll. The other side of the studio is set up for what I think was one time a podcasting studio, but then there's also a TV and a couch just to relax. And something that you can't miss when you come into the Weartesters studio is all the collectibles. And here, it's not just shoe memorabilia, although this place is basically a shoe museum. Chris is definitely a collector, and he loves detail. When it comes to running shoes and Weartesters though, Jody is a runner and Drew is also a runner. In fact, one of the first Weartesters videos I remember watching was where Jody and Chris were discussing Ultra Boost and how it does as a running shoe. The set was a little bit different back then, and now Jody prefers to be off camera yet still mic'd as a co-host to Chris's videos. And Drew handles a lot of the written running shoe reviews. The target audience for Weartesters is a lot of former basketball players and football players who are now getting into running as their main participation sport for the first time in their lives. In other words, people who look more like Drew than they look like me. I think it's a potentially giant audience that really isn't being spoken to right now, and Weartesters is doing a really good job of bringing more people into the sport. I felt a bit out of place in a basketball shoe studio that day. Half of the shoes seemed to be Jordans, and I grew up a Knicks fan, gang gang. But Chris and Jody made me feel welcome in their home studio. Chris even overheard me talking about how the Zoom Air flights from the mid-90s was a sentimental favorite of mine. And he gifted me a pair of retros that had recently come out. And even though it's literally been about 25 years since I've put this shoe on, it instantly brought back a lot of memories. It was the first Nike shoe to have Zoom Air, by the way. I have so many memories of playing my heart out in these shoes. Days
filled with drills and shoot-arounds and pickup games, nights filled with flipping over and over again through the East Bay catalog, accidentally memorizing shoe specs and colorway options. You see, that's the thing about shoes. They're not just functional things that you put on your feet. Whether you're using them to run a marathon, to play basketball, or just wearing them around casually. When they're done well, shoes make memories. And sometimes they can even bring you back in time.
Yo, what's going on?